What's up, everybody? Chase here, and I'm back with another video. Today, we are going to be going over my warden trial tank that I've gotten so many questions about. And as I did with my Arcanist, let's start with the basic stuff. My attributes. I have everything put into health. My resistance is a little bit above cap with my shield without buffs, but that's okay, because if I didn't have that, I would have below cap resistance on my staff. And I have a little bit high pen, but that's going to change later, because later on I'm going to, or my sword is currently sharpened, because that's what it was when I picked it up. But later I'm going to transmute it and it's going to be infused. But yeah, to start off, all of your attributes into health. I've got, hold on a second, let me buff myself. I've got 53k max health, 17k magicka, 14k max stamina, and I've got cap resistance without my major and minor resolve buffs. Now I'm gonna go over my skills. Or you know what, I'll do gear first. Okay. So, for my weapons and jewelry, okay, I am wearing only 4 pieces of jolting arms. We'll talk about that in a bit. Basically, I'm wearing it for the extra health and armor. And I am using a magic damage glyph for more sustain. And for my shield, I have infused with a golden health glyph. By the way, keep in mind, just like the last one, all of my health glyphs are going to be in gold. And it's the same set, jolting arms. And again, I'm using the just 4 pieces of jolting arms for the little bit of extra armor and health. But we'll talk about why I don't have the 5th piece in a bit. Yeah, my back bar, a jolting arms ice staff. I got a shield enchantment, and I have defending for the trait. Let's go over the jewelry. I have protective with stamina recovery for one of my jolting rings, and protective with magicka recovery for the other one. And now this is why I don't have 5 pieces, because my mythic of choice, the Sea Serpent's Coil, again protective, but this time with a Trista glyph. Look at this. While at full health, you gain 40% damage reduction. And I'm not even going to read the rest, because that right there is exactly why I'm using it on this build. Is the 40% damage reduction is really nice. So, for my armor, I am using 5 pieces of iron blood. I have infused on my boots. This gives me a health. And that's why, because this is 1435 armor, another 1435 armor, and 1164 health. Iron blood is the same exact thing, so it's pretty much stacking with it. That's why I got jolting arms. But iron blood is helping me stay alive easier. It says when you take damage, you have a 10% chance to turn your blood into pure iron for 10 seconds, gaining major protection, major Aegis, and minor protection, but also reducing your movement speed by 25%. Now, the 25% movement speed reduction, that's not really a problem with this build, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But let's finish going over the gear. And my pants are infused, and again, every maximum health glyph you see here is golden. I've infused for my gloves, infused on my belt, reinforced for my shoulders and chest. That's very important. I reinforced on my shoulders and my chest. My chest is gold. And then, like, again, everything is a golden health glyph. And my helmet is infused. Now, let's go over the skills. So straight up, this is why it's not going to be a problem for those 2 snares that you get from Sea Serpent's Coil and Iron Blood. That's not really an issue, because this is giving me major expedition, which increases my movement speed by 30%, but it also gives me minor evasion while slotted. So I have this on my front bar for that reason, because I'm mostly using my one-handed shield, so I put this on my front bar, because on my back bar it doesn't give me a minor evasion. Now, I am using the blue beta for my niche. I don't care about the major brutality and sorcery. I don't care about the removing negative effects. The only reason I'm using it is because it restores my magic, because I'm a mag tank. And now, on the back bar, of course I have to go over this skill. This is going to be your main spammable. I don't care if it's an ultimate, this is your main spammable. It only costs 85 ultimate, and guess what? It takes me like 5 seconds to get my ultimate that high anyways. And I'll show you how I do that in a little bit. I've enchanted growth on my back bar. This is buffing me and my allies, of course, because it's a trial tank. So, what's a trial tank without buffs? Now I have budding seeds. This is also one of your main spammables. You want to stand in this as much as you can. Living Trellis. This is decent, but it's not. I wouldn't recommend spamming this, but it does help when you're battling a huge crowd. Now I have my Lotus Blossom. Again, I'm not using it for the crit buffs. I'm using it because it restores my health. Now every passive right here, by the way, I should have gone over this. You need every passive for all 3 of the classic lines. And now this is another buff that I can apply to myself and group members. It says when you activate a heal on yourself or an ally, you grant the target minor toughness, increasing their max health by 10% for 20 seconds. Okay. I'm not using Northern Storm, or I'm also not using the Permafrost morph. I don't need either of those morphs for this because I already get the major protection from Iron Blood. And like I said, from this, no point in using this because I already have cap resistance without any major and minor resolve buffs. So if I were to use them, I would just be wasting ability slots. Now this, again, this is one of your main spammables, Polar Wind. You want to keep this active on you at all times, but you might not want to cast it until the duration runs out completely because it is expensive. Shimmering Shield. Again, this is a main spammable because this is going to help you so you can spam your ultimate, which is what this build was made for. It's made for spamming Enchanted Forest and Budding Seeds and then standing inside both of those AoEs. It says each time you absorb a projectile, you gain 2 ultimate and major heroism for 6 seconds, granting you 3 ultimate every 1.5 seconds. Now, I'm using Heroic Slash, which will give me minor heroism. So again, you want to try and keep this buff active on you at all times. Now this ultimate, I like to call this my oh crap button. The only time I use this is when everyone is dead, and I'll talk about why in a little bit. But basically, this tank has the fastest res in the game. And I'm using this so that way I can't get stunned while I'm trying to res people. You need every passive for one-handed shield. Frost Staff. I'm still going to work on maxing out this passive. The only one you don't need is this one. I'm not worried about it. Heavy Armor. Every passive needs to be unlocked and maxed out. Okay, this is the hardest part about this build. You need to get your soul magic to level 5. This wasn't really hard, but it did take me some time. Again, because this is mainly built for rezzing. Because a lot of people tell me tanks should not be rezzing allies. Well, I find that if I am the only one left, then if I'm tanking and I'm the only one left alive, and I have 2 options: res or reset the battle. And at that point, I'm gonna choose to pop my Sword and Board ultimate and go for a res. So yeah, these 2 passives, very important. This one, I would recommend not getting it, because this only applies if you have a soul magic ability slotted, and I'm not using any. Now for my taunt, I'm using Inner Beast from the Undaunted skill line. This is a ranged taunt. It's a synergy. It inflicts minor vulnerability and minor maim. And like I said, at the bottom it says a ranged ally can activate the synergy to do a lot of flame damage. And now you need to get both of these passives maxed out for Undaunted. And I am using the Imperial race. I get max health, max stamina, reduced cost of all of your abilities. This is mainly the reason why I went with Imperial, is this passive right here, because that also reduces the cost of my ultimate abilities. And like I said, the whole point of this build is spamming your ultimate. Now, provisioning. I do recommend maxing out these 2, which I should probably work on right now. Alchemy. I'm still working on this, but medicinal use needs to be maxed out. I'm not using any of these skills because I don't really need them. Now, moment we've all been waiting for. Champion points. Okay, I do have precision maxed out because that's higher chance of critically healing myself or others. Now I want to come over here, max out blessed, and then you need to get both of these from the brink. Whenever you heal yourself or an ally under 25% health, you grant them a damage shield that absorbs up to 2,200 damage per stage for 6 seconds. This effect can occur once every 30 seconds. So that's an 11,000 point damage shield, which is insane. Now this, I'm using this because once again it's a trial tank, so I'm buffing the group's recovery. And this is very important. yes, the net is cleansing the harmful effects from yourself. But if you heal someone and they just so happen to be at 25% health or less, when you have, and they have a lot of debuffs on them, you can just cleanse everything, and they won't get any more debuffs. Now, I do have both of these maxed out. You do need to max out this. You come into here, max out all 4 of these. Now, right here, I'm not worried about this. I'm only worried about these. Because I'm doing a lot of frost damage since I'm a warden. Now, you know what, I'll go over the craft first. I'll save my speed res for the grand finale. Alright, so these 2 immediately need to be maxed out, as well as these. This needs to be maxed out, because like I said, the build is for rezzing. You need to max out Breakfall. This needs to be maxed out. Alright, now, let's go over fitness. Hang on a second. Maybe I should do this real quick. Okay, so this and this, you need to max out both of these. I'm not using rejuvenation. That's not important. What is important is coming here, maxing this out, and then maxing this out. You need to get this one. And then right here is the grand finale, Spirit Mastery. Decreases the time it takes to resurrect an ally by 33%. And for my Mundus Stone, okay, I'm not a vampire. I'm not, you know what, not my Mundus Stone yet. Let's go over my foot. I'm not a vampire. I'm not a werewolf, but I am using Corrupting Bloody Marrow for my food because I'm a mag tank. Created by Jack the Jake. That one is my chef. Or my Dragon Knight tune. I might do that one in a video later on. I don't know yet. Oh yeah, for potions, tripods. There is no other say about it. You need to use tripods for the potions. Because I got low mag and stam recovery, low health recovery. So this build, it relies on heavy attacks, spamming your ultimate, and sustaining your allies. So you need to use the tripods. You can get the crowned ones or the crafted ones. They're both the same. Just give you an idea of what it would look like. I went from 500 recovery for my health to 1500. Alright, now I am using the Ritual Stone. And for my Mundus, I do have the Ritual Stone. I'm not using the Lady Stone. Alright, and I believe that wraps it up for today's video. Alright, never mind. We can go over my monster set. I am using Scourge Harvester. Now this comes from Lyra Sewers 2. So there is a one-shot mechanic in there that you need to watch out for. But basically, I'm not using this for the magic damage or the heal. I'm using it for the major vitality. So yeah, that major vitality really helps out a lot. And this is why I said to do everything in health, because with Polar Wind, the heal scales off your max HP. And again, this, only use it if you're forced to. And And this is your taunt. This is a spam. This is a spam. And so is this. But this is your main spam. Now, you want to keep your buffs active at all times. Like that. I believe that wraps it up for today's video. So, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope this build helps you out in the future. It's been nice talking to you guys, and goodbye.